Alright, so this is the 20-minute speaking, so let's get started. And I think that is pretty awesome when I have the speaking right now. And right now, you know what, I can't, just go out there and open the Google Meet. It's kind of annoying because, I can say that um, it's really hard for me because it's running really slow at the beginning when I open this laptop. It's kind of good, especially, or you know what? At least I believe that is pretty cool, or it's pretty good for me to just go straight to there in order to have a good experience. Although I can open the Google Meet, but I can't um, open the video at the same time of the Google Meet. I have to put it at least for maybe 10 minutes, and I'm gonna open the video later in order to have a good experience. I mean, the good quality of the video, it's pretty, cool when I just go straight to there and then open the run through of them and 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 just gonna be really really slow. And I can show you before that. I'm good about that. So one of my videos that I have it. I mean, I just turn on my laptop and it opens three, and then it's running, three. How can I say that? Three tabs at the same time. The Google Meet tab for checking the caption, the video tab, and the running, two tabs in Google and one app, which is the OBS video. And I don't really think that's gonna be good for it to go straight to there. So I just put a little bit. I'm gonna go slowly from one to two to three, and it's gonna be pretty cool and pretty good for me. At the same time, like when I want to start the one, at the beginning, it's pretty hard for me. And but first, I mean, just set the time for it, so I don't have to really, to worry much about it. It's gonna be 26. At least I believe so. It's gonna be cool. 4, 5, 6. It's pretty cool. Let's get started. All right, and yeah, that's my idea. I'm gonna wait for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna have a. I'm gonna open the video for speaking because it's gonna be better when I open the video after 10 minutes, because at the time my laptop is my laptop is work right, it's working really well. Okay, so before that, just have some normal talk, and I have to say that it's not easy for me to improve my English skill like this one. Part of it because um, I can say that I'm shy of talking um, in front of people. I mean, in front of a strange person or in front of girls who was born here, and because they have the more experience than me. I mean, their their English speaking is, they're the native speakers, so the speaking is pretty good. And I'm shy of talking in front of girls with my noob English, my noob English. So I'm really, afraid about that. I mean, standing in front of the girls and have some talk, or in front of the female teachers and have, trying to explain what's going on or explain my idea. Because you know what, when I use it in my own language, I can, go straight to the idea, go straight to the point that I want to ask in just I can go straight to the idea or the questions that I want to ask in just maybe 10 10 seconds. But with the English, some of the problems, some of the situations, they have to spend around 2 minutes to explain for the people that I need the help. The situation that I'm having now, and what I need to them, and what I need from them. So that's really terrible and really bad at the beginning. Yeah, that's really terrible, and I don't want to type it again because that's really I'm gonna say that's really good. That's really bad. Like most of the time, I cannot focus on what's happening right now, and I have to spend my life on on the stuff. So, but now I think that I have to have a serious plan, this schedule, the schedule on speaking English and improving my English skill, especially with my speaking skill, reading skill, listening skill, and writing skill. Listening skill, speaking skill, reading skill, and writing skill. For the reading skill, I think I can read books, but I'm kind of lazy about that. But I cannot say that I'm lazy. I have to change myself when I do it. And for the speaking, as I said before, I'm doing this every day, so I don't have to worry much about my speaking skill. Especially when I have to use some new word, I have to to learn it. But for the normal speaking, I think I'm kind of good, maybe 70%. That's pretty awesome. And for the writing skill, that's pretty bad. If you have to mark myself, I'm gonna say that I just have 4 or 5 over 10 because I can say that I'm lack of vocabulary and I vocab and I cannot I'm lack of vocabulary and I and I find it really hard for me to write a good essay, a good essays or having a good argument about some kind of stuff. So writing, I think that writing is my weaknesses, and I believe that most of this the most of the person most of people who is learning English, they're having the same problem with me, but I think that that's better than me because they know how to go through them, and I'm kind of stuck in there. And I think that the problem, I think that the only solution is write more. At the beginning, I can say that my speaking is pretty terrible, and what is my solution for that? Speak more. So I'm gonna say that speak more is the only solution to go through, to improve my speaking skill. And what is the solution for improving listening skill? Listen more. And for the reading skill, I think I'm gonna read more. But for the writing skill, it's really terrible for me if I cannot. It really it's pretty terrible for me if I don't know the way how to go through them. Uh, so I have to really focus on what I'm doing. Otherwise, I cannot achieve my dream. Achieve my dream. Uh, Achieve my dream. So now I'm gonna open the video for the practice, which is in the 4 minute to the 6 minute, in the 4 minute to the 6 minute, in the 4 minute to the 6 minute. In order to in the 4 minute to the 6 minute, uh, I'm gonna open the video from 4 minutes to 6 minutes. I'm gonna open the video from 4 minutes to 6 minutes. I'm gonna open the video from 4 minutes to 6 minutes in order to have a better, in order to improve my speaking skill. I'm gonna repeat that this I'm gonna repeat this 2 minutes, by the rest of the time when I after this 10 minutes. So I'm gonna repeat it for 20 minutes. So I think that's pretty, it is normal now. And I think that my laptop is not stuck anymore, so I can have more time. I mean, right now I can open the Google, I can open that video for having the speaking practice, and I think that's really awesome for me to do this, or at least I believe so because it's still terrible. Yeah, it's still terrible. But by the way, I can move it by the time I'm really focused on it or really care about that. It's just pretty good, especially for now. Or at least I just believe that it's slow right now. It's really terrible, isn't it? Yeah, it's really terrible, isn't it? Yeah, it's really terrible, isn't it? I'm gonna need it. Yeah, I'm gonna need a friend. Yeah, I'm gonna need his help. Yeah, it's gonna be harder. Yeah, really, and then if I believe in him, so it's gonna be a good idea for me to learn from him. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool, really awesome, and really good for me to ask him for the help. It's gonna be better for me. I mean, right from 4 minutes to 6 minutes. Oh my earphone, put it like this one. Then it's gonna be perfect. I'm sitting on my laptop. I have my headphones on. I'm focusing on something. But there's a task. But there is. Oh my god. Is the advertisement? Why is it in here? An advertisement lagging right now. That is the first time I see the advertisement is lagging. It's like, oh my gosh, that's terrible for my laptop right now. It is very bad. It is in a bad condition, so I have to do this as fast as I can in order to have to get my laptop go to the another level. I mean, refresh or put to it back in this video. To watch. There's a random question that really I don't need to answer right now. And so what happens? My attention is drawn here and it takes another 20 minutes sometimes for me to get back into my flow. And that the fault really it wasn't my family, it was me. I know what I could do. I know I could go to the coffee shop down the road, or just to the bus stop, or sit in a car, or the cafe in my local chain. Number six is to have avoidance for a particular type of task. What I noticed was when I was talking to my friends about this task, oh no, it's time to do that long, calmly return. What am I doing? I'm creating this narrative that there are some tasks that I like doing and some tasks that I know. But when I dissected that, what does it really mean? What if I just made it a really simple thing? What if I understood that really I'm going into a task that requires a couple hours, a bit of focus, and it's done. It's not the task that the problem. It's the way that I mentally set myself up to avoid it. and thereby creating more inertia, more challenges to get anything done. Once you reduce the obstacles, things become much easier and less likely to procrastinate. Look at your own task list. Look at the things that you want to get done, to be more productive, to be more disciplined, to build better habits, and ultimately improve yourself. There are some things that are kind of boring, but you need to get done that you just put off with this excuse that is long and can't be bothered. And instead, what if you just focused on the solution? But what would make it easier? How long does it really take? And is it really as bad as you're making out? Number 7. Oh, I have to go back to 4 minutes. Distractions sometimes. I'm sitting on my laptop, I have my headphones on, I'm focusing on something, but there's one video they want me to watch. Okay, so I have to have a serious learning for this one. Sometimes I'm sitting on my laptop. I have my distractions sometimes. I'm sitting on my laptop. I have my headphones on. I have my headphone on. I'm sitting on my laptop. I have my headphones on. I'm focusing on something. I'm sitting on my laptop. I have my headphones on. I'm sitting on my laptop. I have my headphones on. I'm sitting on my laptop. I have my headphones on. I'm focusing on something. I'm sitting on my laptop. I have my headphones on. I'm focusing on something. But there's a funny video. But there's a funny video they want me to watch. But there's a funny video they want me to watch. There's a random question that really I don't need to answer right now. That there's a random question that's really I don't need to answer right now. There's a random question that really I need to answer right now. There's a random question that really I don't need to answer right now. There's a random question that really I don't need to answer right now. There's a random question that's really that there's a random there's a random question that really 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 I don't need to answer right now. There's a random question that's really there's a random question that 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 really I don't need to answer right now. And so what happens? My attention. And so what happens? My attention is drawn. And so what happens? My attention is drawn here. Drawn. my attention is drawn here. Is it Oxford Dictionary again? Drawn, 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 drawn. I don't need to answer right now. And so what happens? My attention is drawn here, and it takes another 20 minutes. And it takes another 20 minutes. And it takes another 20 minutes. What happens? My attention is drawn here. And it takes another 20 minutes sometimes. My attention is drawn here, and it takes. So what happens right now? My attention is drawn here, and it takes another 20 minutes sometimes for me to get back into my flow. And that the fault really, it wasn't my family, it was me. The fault really, it wasn't my family, it was me. And that the fault really, it wasn't my family. The fault. Why is it our default? Also again. The fault. How to say fault? fold. Okay, so let's get back to work. It takes another 20 minutes of time. And it takes another 20 minutes of time. Okay, so off again. Take, text, 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 and it text, What happened when it's drawn here? And the text, What happened? What happened? What happens? My attention is drawn here, and the text. What happens? My attention is drawn here, and the text another 20 minutes of time, and it takes another 20 minutes sometimes for me to get back into my flow, and that's what the fold really. The fold. 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 Or fold, and the fold, the fold. It was me. I know what I could do. I know I could go to the coffee shop down the road, or just to the post stop, or sit in the car, or the cafe at my local gym. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. Number 6 is to have an avoid. Number 6 is you have. Number 6 is you have an avoidance. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. Okay, so I'll start again. Avoidance. Avoidance. Number 6, it is to have an avoidance. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. Avoidance. Okay. Avoidance. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. Number 6 is you have an avoidance. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. Number 6 is you. Number 6 is you have an avoidance. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. For a particular type of task. What I noticed was when I was talking to my family, to my friends about this task. Oh, it's time to do that long comedy return. What am I doing? I'm creating this narrative that there are some tasks that I like doing and some tasks that I long. But when I said that, what does it really mean? What if I just made it a really simple thing? What if I understood that really doing the thing is our task that requires a couple of hours, a bit of focus, and it's done. It's not the task that is the problem. It's the way that I mentally set myself up to avoid it, and thereby creating more inertia, more challenges to get the thing done. What is it? When I reduce obstacles, things become much easier. I'm less likely to procrastinate. Look at your own task list. Look at the things that you want to get done, to be more productive, to be more disciplined, to build a better habit, and ultimately improve yourself. What are some things that are kind of boring but need to get done that you just put off with an excuse? This excuse that is long I can't be bothered. And instead, what if you just focus on the solution? What will make it easier? How long does it really take? And is it really as bad as you're making out? Alright, so this is the end of this 30-minute speaking right now. And I think that I have an improvement in this one, in the video speaking, especially for this one. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. An avoidance. I'm sure there's an avoidance, but it's not. Number 6 is to have an avoidance. It's a avoidance. Number 6 is you have an avoidance. It's not number 6 is you have an avoidance. No, it's not an avoidance. An avoidance. It's not an avoidance. An avoidance. An avoidance. No, an avoidance. It's not an avoidance. No, an avoidance.